Hello, church. It's Drew here with a little update on our Christmas Eve communion services. Over the last couple of years, we've developed something called the Invite One Ministry. This group, led by Mark Corsi and others, helps us think about best opportunities for inviting folks to church. It is a powerful ministry of hospitality and evangelism. On Sunday, December the 1st, you'll be given as many of these Invite One cards as you would like to have so that you can invite folks to our Christmas Eve worship services. We've learned over the years that people are really open to such an invitation during this time of year. I'd like for you to begin thinking and praying about who you will invite and to consider the most effective strategies for such an invitation. It's always helpful to make these invitations in person. This card provides you something simple and easy, also tangible, to give them, which includes the time and location and other information they might need to know about our Christmas Eve worship services. Just as an example, I usually will say something like this. Hey, I've been wanting to invite you to come to church with me, and I think you'd really enjoy one of our Christmas Eve communion services. Why don't we go together and just see how it feels? Now, that is very simple, but it has been an effective approach for my family. People appreciate being thought of and wanted. The other thing people appreciate is not having to come into a new place by themselves. Perhaps you can ride together or meet in the parking lot and walk in together. The important thing is that you are working to ensure the people you invite aren't coming into our building alone. Once you bring them in with you, it's so important that you introduce them to two or three or four other people who sit near you, and I'd love to meet them too if you can find me or some of the other pastors or staff. Our goal is to help them feel at home and comfortable in this church family, even during our very full Christmas Eve communion services. Just as a side note, our 4 o'clock Christmas Eve communion service is our family-friendly service, which is uniquely suited for families with young children. And the 2 o'clock service will be led by our modern worship band in the Family Life Center. 4, 7, and 11 will happen in the sanctuary, and we'll sing Silent Night by candlelight at all of them. Of course, the 7 and 11 services will have the brass choir with us as well. As I do this work of evangelism and invitation, I am finding that people are increasingly more open to an invitation to a church like ours. We are a loving church family, just trying to follow Jesus together. Jesus never turned anybody away, and we don't either. People appreciate that, and they very often find a home in this place. So let's start praying and thinking about who God is calling us to invite to church for these Christmas Eve communion services. Spend some time in prayer and discernment, and then, get out there and just invite folks to come with you. The worst they can do is say, no, thank you. The best is we start to find the people God has been calling us to reach. That'll be a Christmas Eve we'll never forget. Thank you.